to quite a serious subject about the Thameside complex. As all members will know, the issue of the Thameside complex has been thrust into the public arena again, this time by one line in a budget report taken out of context, whilst previous recommendations of members, including myself, and the Grace Regeneration Programme paper have been completely ignored. Let me be clear, the service provided at the Thameside complex costs the taxpayer in the region of £1 million per year. Now, nobody expects the museum or the public library to make money, but what taxpayers do expect is for us to provide those services cost effectively, but also service effectively, so they get the value for money and providing the service they need in the 21st century Thurrock. However, you would expect something like a theatre to at least break even. I've never sugarcoated the fact that I believe this, and I never will. There are some performances at the theatre which make a considerable amount of money and are enjoyed by thousands of residents, but others only having a handful in the audience, sometimes less than 10% of capacity. But the space is also used by community groups, religious groups, high house productions, the council, local dance troupes, just as examples. Unfortunately, it still sits empty for 1/3 of the year. I'm not an expert in theatre productions. I'm fairly sure that no other elected member here is an expert in the way that theatre should be run. With that in mind, early in my administration, I agreed for an outside company to be appointed to review what is provided at the theatre now, what can be done to improve its future financial viability, and what needs to be provided in the future. I will again make it clear, I've sat on 2 separate committees and made clear that the theatre provision will remain in Grays to support a sustainable nighttime economy, and a new provision to replace and improve on what we have should be built as part of the Grace Regeneration Programme. It's known by other members who sat on that committee, and it's a public document. Now, I've had a number of inquiries on this subject, and I've consistently made it known what I've said and what my belief is. The Thameside will not be closed until a replacement is agreed, full stop. I've reiterated now, and I will respond to the one aspect that's not been covered in the letter from the leader of the Labour group. The only opposition leader that actually took the time to ask my intentions and didn't react to inaccurate press reports. I use the term theatre provision, not theatre, because I do not want to anticipate the outcome of any external work being undertaken on behalf of the council, which may, as example, come back with a recommendation for a multi-use space to maximise its use. I, for one, do not want to limit the possibilities for all the performing arts and community groups in Thurrock for the future. However, I will again give you my word that the terms theatre provision, not theatre, doesn't mean we're going to consign this theatre solely to a college, auditorium or some drafty church hall in the middle of nowhere. The Grays Regeneration Plan has a theatre provision on it. Consideration for its location in Grays will form part of the review, and before any final location is identified, it will come back to members as you would expect. I can't make it any clearer. The Thameside will not close until there is a new theatre provision. Thank you, Madam Mayor.